Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I want to show you what I'm working on today. I just made a fabric envelope. Isn't this adorable? It's my first one to make, and I think it turned out pretty good. What I did was I got a envelope here, and I just unfolded it for my pattern. I used this, and I made this cute little guy. So anyway, I'm going to attempt to make a larger one and see how that turns out. And I'm talking about larger one, this large. I found this greetings card envelope, and I unglued it and used this as my pattern. And it's going to be pretty large, so we'll see how that turns out. So anyway, I'm going to use this beautiful embroidery flower bouquet basket here. Has my front, and this is going to be my back. So what you need to do is use your envelope and cut out two fabrics, one for your front, one for your back, okay? And before you put the envelope up, you're going to need it to cut out, let me show you what it's going to be for. See this piece in here I put in here? Well, this is what this is going to be. So you'll need to cut out one piece of fabric, the size of the envelope closed back together, plus like a ½ inch or an inch over the tops, because it's going to be folding like that. All right, so you need one piece of that, and then you need to cut one piece, and this is let me show you the box interfacing. It's on this side. This is actually medium two-sided fusible interfacing, but I'm sure you could use the light or the heavy. And on the interfacing, you just need to actually just cut it the size of the envelope. All right, so I'm going to set this aside and this aside for right now, and we're going to be going to the sewing machine. We're going to have to turn these right sides together, and I'm going to give it a quick pin. Make sure it all matches up here. Let's pin these sides together, and I'm going to just do like a 1/4 of an inch running stitch along the edge. And when I get towards the bottom, whoops, that's not pinning on there really good. Let me try this again. On this side, it looks like it's kind of off here. There we go. That looks better. Down here on this section, I'm going to leave like an 1.5 inch opening so I can turn it inside out. So let's just do the pins going this direction, so I'll know when I get there I need to stop and leave that open. Because honey, there's been times I just kept sewing and sewing and sewed it all up and didn't have anywhere to turn it inside out. So this kind of helps me, like, slow down, you need to be leaving this open. So okay, I'm gonna go to the sewing machine and I will be right back. Okay, got it all sewed up. Let me I left my opening here, so let's turn this inside out. I hope this turns out okay. This envelope I used had some little indentions and everything. It wasn't straight, so we'll see how that turns out when I turn it inside out. We're going to do this together and see how this all works out. I just love making things. I saw this on a Pinterest post about these little fabric envelopes, and I thought, how cute is that? You can store things in. I mean, some people make them really small and use them as gift card envelopes, which I think is a great idea too. So, but anyway, let's see. Let me get my little stick here that's can help me get these little corners here poked out a little bit more. You can use chopsticks or end of a crochet needle to do it. I wouldn't recommend scissors because I've used scissors before and it went right on through, especially if they're really sharp. Went right on through my fabric. I was not a happy camper. Hey, but you learn from those things. So anyway, let's see how this looks. Okay, well, it doesn't quite look like an envelope yet, but hopefully once we get it all pressed and folded, it'll start looking like one. Hey, we're in this together. Let's just see. Let's just see. This one still don't look right. Okay, well, like I said, this envelope I use as my pattern has some unusual shapes. It wasn't like a straight line cut. So, okay, what I'm going to do is go to my ironing board and I'm going to press this out. Then I'm going to go into the sewing machine and I'm going to press it out, and this opening here, I'm going to fold and press it down. And then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and run a stitch along the edge all the way around. And when I come around here, it'll catch the opening and close that up too. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got it sewn all the way around the edge. And caught my opening down here so it's all closed up, and I backstitched at the end where I started. I backstitched at the beginning and the end of my stitching here so it doesn't come unraveled. And that's it for the sewing. Let me show you what I used on this little guy. I used this fabric fusion instead of sewing it together, and I'm going to do the same with this one because it's holding it. I mean, it's permanent and it's holding it just like it was sewn. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold it, and I hope it looks like an envelope. Let's see. Kind of have to eyeball this a little bit. Get all those threads off there. Let me see. Looking good. Let me kind of see how this looks. Let me fold it down. See if this meets up here. Like that. I'm going to flip it over just to look. Okay, that looks good. That looks really good. I think that's going to work. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this glue. It's not actually, well, it is glue for fabric. And I'm going to just put it underneath here. This is going to take about an hour to dry. Man, this is, I tell you what, something about these glues, they dry up so fast. The little hole there gets all clogged up every time. Okay, let's see if that works. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue all the way down. This fabric glue really works great. That way you don't have to sew it, because I would have to sew it by hand. If you do want to sew it, you're going to have to do it by hand. I didn't want to do it, so, and it worked so well on my other one. So, I'm having to really squeeze this bottle. It doesn't want to come out. I'm just gonna fold that up like that. And this fabric fusion dries clear, so you don't even see it after it dries. But like I said, it's going to take a while to dry, probably an hour, maybe 2 hours. So anyway, so I'm going to leave that to dry. But in the meantime, I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to work on that inside part, this part right here. I'm going to take this out so you'll see it. That's the interfacing, and we're just going to lap it over, and that's going to go inside the card to keep it, you know, stiff so it doesn't fold over. So what you're going to do is get your iron all hot over there on the ironing board, and you're going to go press this down, and then you're going to turn this over. And you may need another piece of fabric to lay on here, but you're just going to barely touch the iron on the edge here. You don't want to get your iron touching this, because it'll melt to the iron, and that will not be good. What a mess. So I'm going to go over the ironing board, and I'm going to just press this down, and then I'm going to flip it and use the tip of my iron and just come and press this part down. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I've got it pressed on, and I turned this over and pressed this. So now what I'm going to do, let me get my envelope back here, and it's still wet, so I'm going to have to be really careful with this. But I'm going to trim it up so it'll be able to slip down inside of here nicely. I'm going to trim some of it because we made it a little bit larger, and since we've sewn the envelope, of course the envelope is smaller than it was originally, so this is going to have to be trimmed up. So you just keep trimming it up until you get it the size that will fit in there nicely. And let me see. Cut some off the bottom here. Let me see if that's going to work. Nope, need to do a little bit more. Just have to eyeball this and just keep cutting off a little bit at a time until you get it the size that's going to fit. Well, that's going to fit. Let's push it in there. And let's see if we need it. Now see, we're going to need to take some off the top here. So what we'll do, we'll take it off the bottom because we want that top to be finished. That's the top, so we're just going to cut some off the bottom. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's going to work. And if you want this to be permanent in here, all you have to do, since this is the part is not ironed yet, let me see. This part is still fusible. You just put it in there, and then you go press it down, and it's going to stick to the front Oh my gosh, that is so cute. So there you have it. A fabric envelope. And you can put a button here if you want to. I'm just, let me, since this is still kind of wet, let me just show you with this one. I am going to iron this so it'll be permanently in there so it's not removable. But I left it unironed because I wanted to show you how I did it. But this is how I'm doing this. I'm just folding it in there, tucking it in there instead of putting a snap or a button on it. So anyway, isn't that cute? So I'm going to do the same with this one, just tuck it in once it dries. So anyway, that is so adorable. Oh my goodness. What a cute little fabric envelope. I just love this. All right, well, thank you for coming and making something fun with me today, and I hope you try it out. And like I said, we may need a little bit more glue. Once it dries, if you have any pockets, like little holes sticking up, just go and put some more glue there and set something heavy on it, so and it'll dry perfectly. So anyway, I hope you try this. It's cute to store things into, like your embroidery thread or needles, or it could be a cute little gift for someone with some money in it. Hey, that sounds really good, doesn't it? Oh well. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a good time making them. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.